Thank you very much, Lynn. I'm State Representative Frank Hornstein. I represent Southwest Minneapolis, and I also chair the Transportation Policy and Transit and Oversight Division here in the Minnesota House of Representatives. And Lynn referenced the jobs bill that was passed last week. There was also an important piece of federal legislation related to clean cars and standards for fuel efficiency. And so what we're doing today is taking those two very important landmark bills that were passed in Washington and St. Paul and taking them to the next level. Because we need to provide the incentives to ensure that we can build electric car infrastructure here in the state of Minnesota, because electric cars are coming. They're on display outside. This is a fact. We have Nissan and some of the other American car companies now are looking at producing these as soon as the end of this year and next year. So it's our task to ensure that consumers have that choice to purchase electric vehicles by building the kind of infrastructure that will allow for charging stations and for allow people to charge in their homes. And that's some of the provisions that we had in our jobs bill last week, and some of the work that many of these legislators are looking towards in terms of the future. We have nation-leading electric car infrastructure legislation that has been passed, and we will build on that in the future. And I especially want to thank my colleagues, Representatives Dabney and Mahoney, for their work on that jobs bill that we passed last week, because it includes important provisions such as Car Z for the Ford plant, incentives to build electric vehicles here in St. Paul to protect jobs and to move us forward in building this important infrastructure for the state and the nation. Thank you so much for organizing this event.
Going anywhere?
John Dahl, Senator from Bloomington and Burnsville. I wanted, actually, Lynn Hinkle talked about it earlier, about tying the EV to the PV, and I think that's what ties those together is the FV, the financing vehicle, and that's what we talked about with PACE. The way we tie those together is getting a financing vehicle that people can actually invest in solar, that put manufacturers to work producing more of these products, putting installers to work. And that's what we did with the PACE financing. It's a special assessment that we put onto our property tax on our homes and our businesses that allows us to make those upfront investments. And what we know is, right at this point, there's still a significant investment for a lot of people. An important tool in which we can get people jump-started in this state. And with me is also Representative Caitlin, who helped me out with this particular project. And I think it's something that's going to actually jump-start the solar industry here. We've got in Bloomington, 10K Solar has got a cutting-edge technology that will allow us to gather more solar energy from the panels that they're doing. Also, to be able to, when the sun is blocked out, it's able to actually produce an equivalent amount of energy as the counterparts that are out there right now. So this is a significant tool that we can, with financing, that we can put out there to allow this manufacturing and the installers to, trying to think what I was, with the financing vehicles that we have. Excuse me, can you help me out with this? Come on over here. I'm trying to think what I was trying to tell you, but.
Well, the key of PACE is that for the first time in this state we have an opportunity for individual homeowners and business owners to voluntarily pay for the projects out of the savings. It's been something that's been available through our school districts and others through energy service companies and others, but for the first time ever, as a resident that wants to be part of the move towards stronger national security, towards a more secure Minnesota, and reduce our emissions as well as save money, you can voluntarily opt in to place a special assessment on your property, pay for the improvements to create electric vehicles, to do energy efficiency improvements, and then the project pays for itself, and that's how you pay off that assessment. It's another voluntary tool that we think will be really important to putting the tools in the hands of Minnesotans to actually do good for themselves.
Right. Across the city, thank you, Jeremy. Across the city,
lay down the button for us.
Because the cities are able to do this. They're able to go into a voluntary arrangement to allow this this mechanism to start up. So if people want to petition for their project to be assessed in this manner, they can. So absolutely voluntarily, Terry, and this way you can put that money up front in revenue bonds and pay it off over a 20-year period of time. It allows for solar projects, solar thermal, solar photovoltaic, wind projects as well. But this way we can get those homes and businesses able to generate the electricity, to put those plug-in vehicles, and to move this whole industry forward. Thank you.
Thank you. A quick comment to put this effort in Minnesota in a larger perspective. Last week we saw the President of the United States standing in front of an aircraft, military aircraft at Edwards Air Force Base. This move towards energy security is not just about a cleaner environment. It's not just about saving money for our businesses. It's not just about creating jobs. It is also about real national security. Last month or 2 months ago, the Defense Department came out with their quadrennial security review of all the threats and recognized that energy dependence and climate change instability around the world is a menacing threat. It is truly a threat to the United States, and every American, every Minnesotan should be a part of that solution. Electric vehicles, more fuel-efficient vehicles, and energy efficiency are all part of that. And let me just illustrate a way that Minnesotans can join the Navy and the Air Force. The Navy will be sailing their first zero energy, zero carbon footprint fleet by 2020, a total green fleet. The Air Force has the Green Hornets that are running on biodiesel, and then have a contract to create that same jet fuel out of algae. These Green Hornets are defending America today. This is our opportunity to defend America by becoming more energy efficient, becoming more energy independent, and by driving cars that have a lower impact on the environment while still getting us to work and creating jobs here at home. Thank you.
I'm Ellen Anderson, State Senator, and I just wanted to make a couple of quick comments, not to repeat what's been said about the Ford plant. I just want to mention that, and I was the author of the bill on the Senate side to create a zone around the Ford plant that will create an incentive that we hope will bring Ford or the next vehicle manufacturer back to St. Paul. We know that the Ranger that's currently manufactured at the Ford plant has a limited lifespan and it's projected to close down. And so we're hoping that we will get a new vehicle there now that we have these incentives on the table and it's been signed into law. And we're hoping that that's an opportunity for a green vehicle to be built right here in St. Paul, and possibly some kind of a plug-in. There's a lot of different options out there, but we know it'll be a new product that needs a new home, a new manufacturing plant. And so we are positioned nationally to be in the lead for that decision-making for our major auto companies. So that's very exciting, and that will complement very well a lot of the work that's already underway. Last year we put incentives in place that are going to help create this energy showcase along University Avenue from Minneapolis to St. Paul. And some of the infrastructure that will include is infrastructure for plug-in vehicles along University Avenue between Minneapolis and St. Paul, and so that will beautifully complement a manufacturer of plug-in or electric vehicles right here in the city of St. Paul. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we are moving forward with another piece of legislation this session. The Senate has a bill, it's an omnibus bill, Senate File 3275, I believe, that is putting in place a solar rebate program that will bring a new solar panel manufacturing plant to the state of Minnesota. And we have a commitment from this manufacturer that when this bill passes, they are going to open up a company and manufacture solar panels up in northern Minnesota, which will be sold throughout the state. And this is just adding to the whole picture here, the supply side. Because our bill says that you will have these rebates available through a renewable fund that will be for Minnesota manufactured solar panels. So we want to get the whole package. We want the opportunities for plug-ins, and we want our workers in the state of Minnesota to have those good jobs manufacturing solar panels right here in Minnesota. So we're not just importing our green infrastructure from China for the foreseeable future. We'll be making it right here in Minnesota.